In global geopolitics, the loudest actors often steal the spotlight, but the most significant changes often happen quietly, away from headlines. In 2026, a subtle partnership is unfolding in the Red Sea between Eritrea and Japan. Eritrea guards a vital maritime choke point, and Japan, an economic powerhouse, is forging an alliance through quiet diplomacy and technical cooperation. The Red Sea is a global economic artery. Trillions in trade pass through its narrow straits. This isn't a story of warships, but of development aid, technical training, and building resilience. The world's attention is elsewhere, but the subtle diplomacy between Asmara and Tokyo could prove crucial for global maritime security. In a world of noise, sometimes the quietest partnerships matter most. The Red Sea is the world's economic lifeline connecting Europe and Asia through the Bab el-Mandeb Strait. Nearly 15% of all seaborne commerce, including vital oil and gas, passes through these waters. When secure, global trade flows. When threatened, the world feels the shock. Shipping costs soar, supply chains break, and prices rise everywhere. Eritrea's coastline directly overlooks this choke point, making its ports, Massawa and Asab, assets of global significance. For years, conflict and isolation kept this potential dormant, but now Eritrea's role as gatekeeper is more relevant than ever. The Red Sea has become crowded. Global and regional powers scramble for influence, building bases and patrolling its waters. The competition is fierce, turning the sea into a potential flashpoint. Security is fragile, threatened by piracy, terrorism, and regional wars. A single incident could disrupt the flow of commerce the world depends on. The security of the Red Sea is a global imperative, not just a regional concern. Eritrea, by virtue of its location, is indispensable to keeping this artery open. Its policies and stability have a direct impact on us all. The world cannot afford for this vital waterway to be blocked. The health of the global economy depends on the calm, steady flow through the Red Sea. Eritrea stands as sentinel at the gate. Its choices matter more than ever. The stakes are high, and the world is watching. The Red Sea's future is everyone's business. The Horn of Africa is a region of fierce competition, with Ethiopia at its center, landlocked, populous, and desperate for sea access. Ethiopia's quest for a port drives regional tension, especially with Eritrea, which fiercely guards its sovereignty. Meanwhile, Gulf states like the UAE and Saudi Arabia pour billions into the region, seeking to secure supply chains and project influence. Their investments bring development, but also import rivalries, making the region volatile. Amid this, Eritrea has chosen calculated neutrality, avoiding exclusive alliances and refusing to host foreign military bases. This is not passivity, but strategic calculation. Neutrality makes Eritrea a valuable partner to many, without being drawn into their conflicts. Eritrea's non-alignment is its greatest diplomatic asset, offering stability in a polarized region. For countries like Japan, which seek stability through non-military means, Eritrea's stance is ideal. It allows engagement on maritime security and development without entanglement in regional power struggles. Eritrea's ability to remain above the fray while sitting on strategic real estate is the key to its growing global importance. In a region of shifting alliances, Eritrea's neutrality is its strength. This is why the world is paying attention. Japan's foreign policy in Africa stands apart, built on patience, partnership, and soft power, not military might. Through initiatives like TICAD, Japan invests in local capacity, sustainable growth, and stability from the ground up. In Eritrea, this means real projects, technical assistance in water management, healthcare, education, and vocational training. Japan's approach is quiet but transformative, improving lives and building resilience, not seeking headlines. This development focus is a security strategy in itself. True stability comes from opportunity, clean water, and health, not just force. By addressing root causes of instability, Japan creates a more secure environment for all. A stable Eritrea is a reliable partner against threats like piracy and smuggling. Japan's aid is a strategic investment, not charity. Crucially, Japan emphasizes partnership and respect for sovereignty, avoiding the pitfalls of debt and dependency. This earns trust and goodwill, allowing for deep, lasting relationships. It's a slow, deliberate strategy, but its results endure. Japan's quiet alternative stands in stark contrast to the disruptive power politics of others. In Eritrea, this approach is making a difference. Diplomacy often speaks in subtle signals. The recent visit of Japan's ambassador to Eritrea, Matsuo Kazuhiro, to Foreign Minister Osman Saleh was more than a courtesy. It was a clear sign of active engagement. Their discussions focused on strengthening ties and cooperation in international forums, signaling a maturing partnership. For Japan, it's a way to understand the Red Sea's dynamics. For Eritrea, it's a chance to amplify its voice with a major G7 economy. The meeting reaffirmed a shared commitment to a rules-based order and showed Japan's ongoing commitment to the region. In a place where alliances shift quickly, this consistency builds trust and predictability. The ambassador's visit illuminated years of quiet, practical cooperation. In a noisy world, such signals matter. They build the foundation for lasting alliances. Eritrea's transformation from isolation to influence is striking. Once defined by war and suspicion of outsiders, Eritrea now leverages its strategic geography as an asset. Its policy of neutrality allows it to engage with all sides without becoming a pawn. This has turned Eritrea from a pariah into a sought-after player. Japan's engagement fits perfectly, offering technology, finance, and expertise without political strings. The partnership strengthens Eritrea's capacity and sovereignty, especially in maritime security. Japanese assistance in surveillance technology, for example, helps Eritrea secure its own waters. A stable, engaged Eritrea, supported by Japan, can anchor the region and de-escalate tensions. Developing its ports with Japanese cooperation could ease Ethiopia's pressure for sea access and benefit the wider region. Eritrea's pivot, backed by Japan, is quietly redrawing the Horn of Africa's geopolitical map. Influence now comes through quiet strength, not loud declarations. The Horn of Africa is a battleground of contrasting styles. China builds influence with massive loans and infrastructure, but at the cost of debt and dependency. The U.S. focuses on military presence and counterterrorism, often overshadowing diplomacy and development. Gulf states use financial muscle to back allies and projects, but their interventions can be volatile and self-serving. These powers are loud, immediate, and often destabilizing. In stark contrast, Japan's influence is quiet, built on decades of technical aid, cultural exchange, and trust. Japan doesn't demand allegiance or create dependency. It fosters partnership. This makes Japan uniquely welcome in Eritrea, which values sovereignty. Japan's power is patient and sustainable, offering a compelling alternative to louder, riskier approaches. In a region wary of domination, Japan's quiet way stands out. It's a model of influence that builds rather than disrupts. Sometimes the quietest player has the most lasting impact. The Japan-Eritrea partnership holds promise, but risks remain. Ethiopia's push for sea access and foreign interest in Eritrean ports could upset the delicate balance. Security threats, piracy, smuggling, regional conflicts could force militarization, undermining Japan's soft power approach. The partnership's success depends on a stable environment where diplomacy can thrive, New agreements on maritime surveillance or health would signal progress. Stagnation could mean trouble. Shifting alliances in the region could change everything overnight. Yet, if successful, this partnership could be a model for stability, showing that patient diplomacy and mutual respect can outlast force. The quiet alliance may not make headlines, but its impact could be profound. In the Red Sea, sometimes the whispers matter more than the shouts.